Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are around the world. We just want to remind you one more thing. Of course, you have greatness inside of you. This is your hockey coach guru, Coach Francis, directly from the Vancouver Canucks. For what? Of course, another great video for the Hockey Nation Live Show. And today talk about the UFA 2022. So I select one player per team where I feel like they're going to have an impact for the upcoming UFA 2022. Can this player sign with the team, or they going to try the market of UFA? So don't go nowhere. You're going to hear about what are my selection for the UFA 2022. Before we start the video and talking about the UFA Class 2022, we want to invite you. Don't forget to subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show on the YouTube channel and Facebook page. If you like this video, we will appreciate if you can click on the likes. And of course, leave your comments. Tell me more about what you think about the UFA 2022. Who do you believe they're going to resign with the team they are, or you believe they're going to go somewhere else? So let's dive in about the UFA 2022. Here we go. One player, UFA 2022 per team. And let's start with the division Atlantic. First, the Boston Bruins. The best player where I select for the UFA is the veteran of 35 years old, Patrice Bergeron, a contract at $6.8 million. And he played 54 games last season. He had 48 points. Great performance for him, to be honest with you, with the Boston Bruins. So it'll be interesting about what he's going to do. I believe he's going to stay with the Boston Bruins. For the Montreal Canadiens, another veteran of 30 years. He have signed a contract at 3 years prior to that. And for $3.5 million per AAV. He played 41 games last season after he broke his right hand during a fight against J.D. Miller. He have 7 points. Honestly, with the Montreal Canadiens, would be really interesting about this. Can Montreal have enough money to resign him, and how much he would like to get for his upcoming contract? That's something where I'm not sure if Ben is going to try the market UFA for the upcoming season. The next player for the Buffalo Sabres, guys, over there, they don't have a lot of UFA, to be honest with you. I select the 28 years old Colin Miller, a righty for the Buffalo Sabres. He have a contract at that moment at $3.8 million. In 48 games, he have 12 points. So it'll be interesting if Miller is going to stay with the Buffalo Sabres. For the Ottawa Senators, another team where they don't have a lot of UFA on the team for the next season. He has 27 years old. First of all, he have a contract at $3.5 million. He have 19 points only in 55 games. Listen, he should be a little bit better, to be honest with you. Can he defend for this season and have a better contract after that? It would be interesting if the Ottawa Senators want him to return with the team. Then this one, it's a really not shocking me, but what I'm surprised is FABBRI is going to be UFA right away. 25 years old at that moment, a contract at $2.9 million. Have not a bad year last season, 18 points, 30 games only after an injury, 10 goals in 30 games. I expect to be and stay with the Detroit Red Wings. I don't know what Steve Yzerman is the plan for him, but FABBRI is one of the top 6 players right now in this lineup at Detroit Red Wings. The next one, guy, is for the Tampa Bay Lightning. After the last many players, the veteran, a 30 years old PALAT left winger, is going to become a UFA at $5.3 million. He has 46 points, guys, last season. Great year for him in 55 games. Can the Tampa Bay Lightning have enough of money to resign the veteran? I know over there they afford to get those kind of players at a lower price. So can PALAT stay with the Tampa Bay? We're going to see. Look, this is a big major UFA player. I can tell you that he's not going nowhere. I would not be surprised he get a contract before the upcoming season. But Barkov, the 25 years old, at most at $6 million per year, he's going to be UFA next season. 58 points last season, guy, the winner of the Selke Trophy. 26 goals in 50 games. But again, like I mentioned to you, I don't expect him to go nowhere. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, the left defenseman, Morgan Rielly, he's going to become a UFA, 27 years old. We know the number one defenseman for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He has right now $5 million. We know how it is, the money, salary cap over there problem. Can afford to pay him back or to pay him for the upcoming, after that to offer him a contract? Would be interesting to see this. Rielly, 35 points last season and 55 games. We know what he can do for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I believe he's going to stay in Toronto, but I don't know what it will be a contract. At that moment, it should be around $8 million. We're going to see if they can afford to pay him for the next couple of years. For the Central Division guy, I went with the Arizona Coyotes. I went with a veteran of 33 years old, Phil Kessel, the right winger. He has right now a $6.8 million. He had 43 points last season, guy. He have a great year overall. Well, we know that Arizona did not do well. In 56 games. Can they resign with them? I'm not pretty sure. We know this team is going to another direction, to rebuilding. So I'm not sure if Kessel is going to be not return with Arizona, and possible they can be traded during the trade deadline. For the Minnesota Wild, they don't have a lot of big name over there. Other effect is Victor Rask, the center, 28 years old, at $4 million at that moment. He have 23 points and 54 games last season. I don't know if Minnesota, with all the money, going to have a problem with a buyout they did, if they can afford to have Rask returning with the Minnesota Wild. Now, for the Chicago Blackhawks, you have a few players like that. They are become a UFA. But I go with a veteran goaltender, Fleury, at $7 million per year at 36 years. It's going to be his first year with the Chicago Blackhawks. He have an amazing, great year last season, 1.98, 0.92 in the 8 save percentage, winner of the Trophy Vizina. Can he resign over there, or he just stay there for 1 year, then he go to somewhere else? I'm not sure. It will depend for me what he got, what he does during the year, and Chicago do during the season. So it'll be interesting if Marc-Andre Fleury is going to return or not with the Chicago Blackhawks. For the Nashville Predator guys, they have a two big name as a UFA, Ekholm and now Forsberg. I go with Forsberg because really is the number one best forward for the team. $6 million at 27 years, 32 points, 39. We know we have a couple injury last season for him. He missed a lot of games. But we'll see what the Nashville. I would not be surprised. He's going to have an offer contract in the next couple of weeks, maybe like BARKOV before the season starts. But I'm sure the Nashville does not want to lose Forsberg and Ekholm for them. So I believe Philip is going to get a contract prior to the upcoming season. For the Colorado Avalanche, this is really interesting. The 26 years old have an amazing, great year last season with the Colorado Avalanche. 44 points, 53 game is almost $5 million per year. It's going to be an increasing over there. After they lost a bunch of players, Grave and Sad and Donskoy, I think they cannot afford to lose another forward. I believe he's going to stay with them, with the Colorado Avalanche. I would not be surprised. It would be interesting how much he will to get. For the St. Louis Blues, we know they are David Perron is going to be a UFA, but I went with a veteran right D, PARAYKO, 28 years old, at $5.5 million per year. We know what he can bring on the ice with the team. The St. Louis Blues have a good defense, but they cannot afford to lose PARAYKO after the last Pietrangelo. 12 point only on 32 games, but still, I believe he played a big role inside that team, to be honest with you. So it'll be interesting what he's going to do for is the St. Louis Blues going to resign him for the upcoming season. For the Dallas Stars, guys, that's another team. They have a lot of UFA. And when you're talking coach, but he could have also Radulov. Pavelski is going to be UFA. KLINGBERG, I go with the youngest one and one of the best as a UFA class for the Dallas Stars. The 29 years old, 36 points. Again, another great year and 53 games, $4.2 million. He deserves more, to be honest with you. They have some discussion maybe he was supposed to get trade, was on the trade bait, but I believe KLINGBERG is going to resign with the Dallas Star. I mean, I expect a higher increasing for his salary for the upcoming season for a couple of years for sure for the Dallas Star. Finally, for the Winnipeg Jets guy, I went with Andrew COPP, left winger, 3.6, signing only a 1-year contract at that moment, could become a UFA after that. 39 point last season, 55 game, very good to be honest with you. Play a big role measure for the Winnipeg Jet and the top 9 forward. He can become also a second good line players, but we'll see what the Jet can afford to have him for the next year after that. But I would not be surprised to sign him, to be honest with you, because they may be not resign Paul Stash. You need to go and have enough money to get another players like a COPP to come back with the team. The next division I want to talk is the Metropolitan Division. And the first player is about the Carolina Hurricanes. Vincent TROTCHEK. They have a few players like Jordan Stahl is another UFA. Listen, 28 years old, $4.7 million. Have an amazing, great year as a second center for the Hurricanes. 43 point, 47 game, 17 goal. Look, I believe the Hurricane will have to get him back. I think he is an easy player at $6 million per year. I'm not sure if he will resign with them. It will be interesting. A couple of teams missing a lot of second lines, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be really in demand to sign for sure. The New York Rangers guy, their best center, ZIBANEJAD, is going to complete his last year of his contract this year, become a UFA at 28 years old. The guy is getting better year after year. After a rough, difficult start of the season last year and 56 games, he had 50 points, came back strong, and I'm sure the New York Rangers would like to get him back with the team. But again, this another player is going to get another big, huge, increasing salary for sure after what he accomplished for the last couple of years with the Rangers. The next player is for the Columbus Blue Jackets. MERZLIKINS guy is a goaltender over there. Both of them are with Corpusilo. They are on the UFA with Max Domi. But I went with him, I believe, at 27 years old, $4 million. He had an amazing, great year last season. Look, I believe one of the two, I feel like they're going to keep him and not let him go on the free market. Can they trade one of the two also during the trade deadline? Possible. But it will be interesting what the Columbus Blue Jackets is going to go. If they return both of them or they only sign one of the two. And is it MERZLIKINS or Corpusilo? The Philadelphia Flyers guys. GIROUX, the captain over there, left winger, $8.2 million, 43 points. That's pretty good, to be honest with you, what he got at 33 years old. I don't expect much. He's going to have a decreasing salary over there. Can the Flyers want to keep him? That's the biggest question. Or GIROUX would like to go on the UFA market. I'm not sure. But listen, he's not going to get another 8.2. At that moment, I don't expect more at $4 million for him, a 2 or 3 years contract. For the New Jersey Devils, this is the end for PITTSBURGH with them at $9 million. He's never going to get another contract at that amount. The 32 years old, like I mentioned, 19 points last season, a 44 game. I expect SUBBAN go somewhere else at a lower price, to be honest with you. Would be interesting who is going to get him. We would like to get him, to be honest with you. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they have a two major UFA over there, Malkin and Letang. I went with Malkin, 35 years old, $9.5 million. His keep continues to produce a year after years, 28.33 games. The problem with him is more the injuries. Now, I feel like he's not going to come back with the Pittsburgh, and I don't feel he's going to get that kind of money. I feel like it's going to be lower, and I feel the Panthers are going to be on the race to get Malkin. For the New York Islanders, they have one of the best defensemen, PULOCH, going to become a UFA. $5 million right moment at 26 years old, 17 points, only 2 goals in 56 games. I expect almost the same amount for a 6-year contract, and I expect him to stay with the New York Islanders. I don't see him to go nowhere. Lamoriello, we're going to find a way to keep him with Adam PALAT. He has already signed a contract over there. a couple of weeks ago. For the Washington Capitals, Schultz, RD, $4 million at 31 years old, a veteran, have 27 points and 46 games. That's pretty good during his first year with the Washington Capitals after he left the Pittsburgh Penguins. What's next for him? I'm not sure. We'll see what the Washington is looking for, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's not returning with the Capitals for the upcoming season. Finally, the last division of the UFA video is the Pacific Division, and for the Seattle Kraken guys, listen, this is their first year operation in the NHL. I wonder with Giordano is at 37 years old. He's the last year of his contract. 26.9 goal guy, 56 games. He still can play in NHL, but I feel he's going to get a contract a little bit like Rand Sutter if he wants to stay in NHL, about $3.54 million maybe for 1 or 2 years. But exactly what he can get or what he could get, it depends what he's going to play this year with the Seattle Kraken. Can he go somewhere during the trade deadline? I would not be surprised if the team to go nowhere. So it's something we have to follow up with Giordano. The Calgary Flame guy, I went with Johnny Gaudreau, the 28 years old. His last year, his contract this year at $6.7 million. 49-point guy, 56 games. Pretty great season for him. He's on the trade bait. Everybody put him with the Flowers, Boston, everything like that. I'm not sure what the Calgary Flame can afford to keep him. Can he be traded at the deadline? Possible, but it will be really interesting. Two depends for me what they look like their season for the upcoming season. That will maybe give the direction what he's going to do with Johnny Gaudreau. For the Vegas Golden Knight, the biggest for me UFA over there is Riley Smith. $5 million, 30 years old, 25 points and 53 games, still scored 14 goals. Listen, I think at that moment, what I believe is going not returning with the Vegas Golden Knight. He's pretty consistency with his number year after year, but I don't feel Smith is going to get more. I think he's going to get the same kind of money and not more. So it will be interesting to see what Smith is going to do. The San Jose Sharks cannot lose Thomas Hurdle. He's a great player for them, 27 years old, 43.50 game last season. At $5.8 million, he's going to get more money, contract at 6 to 8 years if he stays with San Jose Sharks. I feel the San Jose Sharks also want him to return over there. For the Anaheim Ducks, I went with the forward defenseman, Lane Holm, 27 years old, 6 points, only 18 games. The injury all year long last season, $5.2 million. We know what he can do on the ice, off ice. Great players and also good veterans. I feel like the Anaheim Ducks want him. They are right now on the trade bait with Josh Manson. So I don't see Lane Holm to go nowhere. And I believe he's going to resign with them. For the Vancouver Canucks, nothing much over there. Other effect like Tyler Motte at $1.2 million. I believe he's going to return over there maybe at $2.5 million. Not much money for him, to be honest with you. For the Edmonton Oilers, I went with Josh Archibald. That's pretty much what they have. Another like Motte, I don't see too much about him. 13 points only. They are both of them at bottom 6. Their speed is there. They play big role on special team PK. But again, I don't see a big increasing for them. And finally, for the Los Angeles Kings, the goaltender, Calvin Peterson. Look, he's below or under $1 million at 26 years old. We know he came late in the NHL, but he performed so good for the last 2 years. We know his GAA is maybe high, but he carried on a lot of time. The Los Angeles Kings between the pipe. To be honest with you, I expect him to return with the Los Angeles Kings. He's going to have a big increasing money over there. He's going to become the goaltender number 1 for the Kings for the many years. So I don't expect him to go nowhere, and I feel like the Kings want him to come back. So this guy conclude another great video of the Hockey Nation Live Show about the UFA 2022 class, 1 player per team. Before we leave, we want to remind you, don't forget, please, to subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show on their YouTube channel and a Facebook page. And finally, if you enjoyed this video, please click on the likes and leave your comments. Tell me what you think about the UFA. Tell me what you believe some players going to go or resign with their own team. It would be interesting to hear from you guys about this video. But before we leave, again, we want to remind you one more time. Of course, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody. I look forward to see you for another video of the Hockey Nation Live Show with your coach Frenchy. Bonne journée, mes amis. On se revoit plus tard pour une autre vidéo avec l'entraîneur Coach Frenchy.